Hey Podheads, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Starbuck, aka Prince of Dorkness, and today we're gonna take a look at my day off reading comics. So stick around, let's talk comics. Hey Podheads, welcome back to the show. If it's your first time here, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe below, and ring that bell for notifications so you know when I've got new videos. Today is not my day off reading comics. However, my day off reading comics was several days ago. I didn't make a video. I was out of town. I was in the city for the weekend enjoying a 20th floor suite in a nice hotel on the company dime. So apologize folks, but I was enjoying myself. That being said, I also only received 4 books last week from my comic retailer. So when I received an additional shipment a couple days later, I figured, why not? I'll just do a video in a couple of days that I'll have everything. So this is going to be a little bit longer than normal and definitely longer than last week where I think I reviewed 2 books. So thank you so much for coming back and for checking out my day off reading comics, guys. We got a lot of books to cover, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. First off, I do a quick thumbs up, thumbs down review. I try to be as non-spoilery as possible and just kind of let you know whether or not I think you should also be reading this book based on this week's issue. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. Our first book that I read this week was Nocterra number 10 by Scott Snyder, Tony S. Daniel, and Marcelo Maiolo. This book was fantastic. Most issues in this series so far have gotten my pick of the week. This one was definitely close. It was just a wonderful story. I really love what's going on. In this issue, we see our Sundog convoy go to Luna to get the coordinates for Eos, and a fight ensues. This issue also has at the end of it a single panel that says "to be concluded," which I'm not sure if they are talking about the storyline, you know, the story arc, or the book itself. Gosh, I really hope it lasts longer than just 11 issues, but it's so good, guys. If you haven't already read it, make sure you go ahead and pick up the first trade at least and see if you like it. It's really incredible. All right, and so that's 2 big thumbs up for Nocterra. Coming up next, I've got the Scorched number 5. So the Scorched number 5, this was a Redeemer-centric storyline. Had a cameo by the Haunt, and a big fight with the Devourer. All around, it was an okay book. I think that with all of the Spawn books, you know, it's been difficult to kind of keep track of what's going on when you're reading all of them. Gunslinger is by far the most comprehensible, but other books are getting better too, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But I'm going to give it a thumbs up this week because I didn't hate it. I really, you know, I enjoyed reading the issue, but I don't really feel like it pushed the story in a whole lot of very meaningful ways. Moving on. Spawn. Man, you guys, I mentioned last week about Amazing Spider-Man number 1 and how the image of the cover just seemed poor, like a low quality, low resolution image that had been stretched on the cover. Well, just to not be outdone, Spawn number 329 by Rory McConville and Carlo Barberi takes the cake for worst cover transfer I've ever seen. If you look at the image closely, you can see in the white and gray areas the pixelation from the stretched image. I mean, come on guys, this made it through quality control? Really? Like, nobody noticed that, like, hey, this is a shitty image. Just saying. Other than that, the book also wasn't that good, honestly. It had a bad cover. It had a Redeemer, Haunt-centric story, the Forsakens on a mission. I was okay, but man, that cover. I'm going to give Spawn a thumbs down this week. Just fix it, Todd. Come on. Better covers. And coming up next, I have X-Men number 11 by Duggan, Loraz, and Gracia. So This was kind of a lady-centric issue with the ladies going to Game World. We get a fantastic, big, long-winded speech from Jean Grey about how she's never going to let someone abuse the people of Earth the way that the gamblers at Game World have, and then they get captured. I'm not sure. I'm not really trying to give anything away. I don't know if they got captured. It just got a kind of an unclear ending page of the book. So I'm not really sure what happened in the book. But all in all, I think it was a fun book. I really enjoyed seeing the ladies out and enjoying a day gambling. And up next, we have Wonder Woman number 787 by Clunan Conrad, Lapacino, Von Graubiger, and Bonvillain. So this was the first issue of Wonder Woman that I have gotten in at least a year or more. I really liked this book. I thought it was a good jumping on point. It's the beginning of a new storyline. There is a couple of pages right in the beginning that's clearly like kind of wrapping up whatever big event they just did in the Wonder Woman titles. You see her kind of the end interaction with what I assume is the villain of that story, and then it kind of moves on to like newer and brighter things. So we see Diana back in the States. We see her interacting with Steve, and Steve is clearly dating someone else, and I don't think relationship status counts as a spoiler. But it was a fun issue. I really liked this because it reminded me a lot of the Brian Azzarello run, where those stories were so like God-centric and particularly like Greek mythology centric. This one kind of has that same vibe. So it was a really good book. I really enjoyed Wonder Woman this week. I give it a thumbs up, and I think you should read it as well. Going up next, we've got Wolverine number 21. All right, so this one is similar to Wolverine number 20 of last month. Again, we are in a very Deadpool centric story. I love it. Deadpool is the best book, the best character to throw into a book that needs a little levity, and I felt like this book did. It's been hard for me to kind of remember what's going on in Wolverine because I don't feel like it's been a particularly standout run so far. But I'm really enjoying the issues that Wade is in. Again, Deadpool's trying to do everything he can to impress Wolverine and impress the X-Men so that he can become a member of Krakoa. And it's not going so well for him, but it really does kind of make you feel bad for him. And Wolverine's kind of a dick sometimes. But I digress. It was a wonderful book, especially if you read the last one that goes along with it. Definitely check out Wolverine number 21 by Percy, Kubert, and Martin. Fantastic stuff. And it's really gory too. Like you get to see basically Wade and Logan just get torn to pieces by multiple things. It's pretty great. Moving on. All right, so coming up next, we have Immortal XMen number 2 by Gillen, Wernick, and Curiel. So this book is... I know it's only been 2 issues, so I'm going to give it some time. But so far, this book's kind of redeeming my faith in X-Men. I just haven't been digging the other titles. We're still in the age of Krakoa, which I'm, not sure if I totally love it. But I feel like the team on Immortal X-Men is kind of just setting up the status quo there, and is moving on to new forms of drama. In this particular book, we have the mutants mostly fighting amongst themselves. Selene doesn't get voted to the Quiet Council. She throws a fit. There's a big ass monster everyone has to fight. It was a fun book. I really enjoyed it. I will definitely keep reading Immortal X-Men, maybe over the standard X-Men title. So thumbs up for Immortal X-Men. All right, so coming up next, King Spawn number 10. This is the black, white, and red all over issue. All right, so first things first, this cover is fantastic. The standard Spawn title cover sucked. This one's really good. I even got in there, took a photograph, blew it up, wanted to make sure that it wasn't, just some half-assed post on a cover, and sure enough, high definition images, looks very nice. That being said, I was concerned when I first took a look at this book because I know with Todd's properties, sometimes we tend to really dive into the nostalgia aspect of comic collecting. He loves those throwback covers, and To be fair, I love them too. I buy every one of them. But I was a little worried that I felt like with the whole Marvel, black and white and red, or black, white, and blood series that they're doing for everyone, it's not only a little too soon, but also, like, is it just a cover or was it the whole issue? So I read it, so you don't have to. It is the whole issue. It is all black, white, and red. He did just exactly what... I shouldn't say he. I mean, I know it's a different creative team. This is Sean Lewis and Javi Fernandez. But, I mean, it's exactly what Marvel's doing. So, I mean, I feel like the least they could have done was changed it to, I don't know, red, white, and blue or something. Make it patriotic and be a little different. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. But I will say Javi Fernandez's artwork all the way through this book is absolutely incredible. It was the best art on a Spawn title this week, and it shouldn't be missed. Also, this was just hands down the best Spawn book. Story, artwork, everything. This month so far, King Spawn is absolutely the king of the Spawn titles. So, big thumbs up. Make sure you are picking up that title because it's just going to get better. Gunslinger and King Spawn are going to be the best books of the series for sure. Moving on. And coming up next, we have Batman Superman World's Finest #3. Speaking of good covers, can we just take a moment? I know it's probably dark. You've probably got a horrible reflection and can't see this very well, but of course, you'll be able to see everything in the overhead view. These covers, when I bought this, I didn't pay attention to the solicitation very closely, and I thought that it was one of the like the Libra Mejo covers, like they did with Detective Comics for those 12 issues or whatever recently. Because it is the same cardstock, variant cover. So, and the style from the solicitation looked like kind of a Libra Mejo cover. But it is, in fact, Lucio Parrillo, and it is beautiful, guys. Just admire it when you get a chance. It's so great. It's one of my favorite covers this week. Definitely fantastic stuff. In this issue, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we see a confrontation with Faust, with Dr. Alchemy, with Demon Neza. It's just, I mean, there's a lot going on, but I really liked it. And I didn't realize when I started doing the World's Finest when it first launched that this was a Wade book, a Mark Wade book. But the creative team on it is Mark Wade, Maura Bonvillain, and can I just say, like, Mark Wade's storytelling is still fantastic. I first read Mark Wade's stuff in Fantastic Four way back in the day, and it's a good type of storytelling that introduces a lot of things to the reader all in a single issue, but still somehow allows you to keep track of it all and make sense of it. And it's fantastic. Definitely check out World's Finest #3. Thumbs up. Coming up next, Wolverine Patch #2. I was a little hard on this book last month, I feel like, and it's just because, I've been reading G.I. Joe from IDW, and maybe I'm just burnt out on Larry Hama, but the first issue did not impress me. It was okay. Made me feel like a lot of Larry Hama stuff does, which is just kind of wishing there was a little more going on, a little more action, and a little less exposition. This book I felt like did a pretty good job, actually. This book, I think, did a 180 for me. I enjoyed the artwork a lot. I enjoyed the action, the pacing. I thought the pacing was better than your standard Larry Hama book. It's like he's kind of gotten back into the groove of the original Wolverine Volume 2 back in whenever, 1980 something. And he's in that sweet spot where Larry Hama fans really like to see him. And I thought it was fantastic. I don't want to give too much away. The story is not particularly deep, but it's definitely worth reading. Thumbs up for Wolverine Patch #2. And that's going to bring us to our book of the week. I left this one, I'm glad this was the book of the week, partly because I didn't want to show it on camera in the first, several moments of the video. But it's called I Hate This Place. It's an Image comic by Kyle Starks, Artyom Topolin, Lee Luridge, and this is issue number 1. I have the variant cover, the explicit variant cover, which of course says, "Fuck this place." If you are a fan of horror films, horror comics, creepy comics, just kind of overall what you would get going into a modern horror film as far as pacing and exposition, then this book is for you. This book is fantastic. It was my favorite read this week because not only did it kind of creep me out and give me maybe more to imagine than what it showed me, but it was the most fun I had this week. I like the diverse cast of characters. Yeah, this book really pulled from all of the classic horror film tropes, including some of the newer ones. I could see Jordan Peele adapting this to a film. So I definitely think that this was the best book. I don't want to tell you anything, honestly. It's just good. Go out and buy it. It's the first issue. I believe there's only going to be 5 or 6 issues. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's an ongoing. I'll report next time. But it is fantastic and without a doubt the best thing I read this week. So go out and pick up I Hate This Place by Image Comics. And that is my review, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for waiting an extra couple of days for my video. I promise I'll have more content coming out soon. For those of you that stuck around till the end, you are my heroes. You are the folks that keep the little station that could just barely running every week because you're the people that I'm reaching out to. So thank you so much for sticking around. A little bit of exciting news. I got a job promotion during my in my regular 9-to-5 jobs, so I'm very excited. I don't know how it's going to affect videos that come out, but it's a big step in my life and it's something that I'm very excited about. So if you stuck around to the end and you heard my good news, thank you. Please comment below. Let me know about good things happening in your life. Let me know about what comics you want me to review, and let me know anything you want to let me know. Remember, folks, when all else fails, take a nap. Good night, folks.